Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Jason Mohan from Big Kid Games, looking at Sweet Mess, not the final production version of the game.
Not quite.
Not quite. But you can tell us how to play, and that is what we want you to do.
Okay.
We're doing something with food.
Here we are. So Sweet Mess is a baking competition game. So players are contestants in a baking competition, and we're going to basically try to impress the judges and the master chef in the best possible way by cooking these desserts.
Okay.
Multiple types of desserts. It's kind of cool because each recipe card has a unique dessert art, right? So that's kind of fun. But each card is going to show us the ingredients that we need to fulfill that recipe to make that dessert. Some of them require cooking time, which your oven is here in front of your player tray.
Okay, so each person will have their own tray?
That's right. This is a player tray. Everybody will have their own. It'll have a little chef character that sits right here. So your tray is your pastry bench where you store your ingredients, where you do your work. And then it also houses some kitchen tools that you can use to kind of enhance your actions and mitigate things.
Okay.
You have your action selection board here, which is where you take your actions from, and then these are ingredient masteries. And I'll explain that in a minute.
Okay.
But so the core mechanism of the game is going to be resource gathering. You're going to be gathering these ingredients by taking a certain action. And again, we're wanting to get these ingredients to fulfill a recipe that is on the board. And the recipes will show you the amount of victory points that they're worth. They're either 1, 2, or 3 victory points. And again, like I said, some of them will require cooking time. So this one has a timer of 1, a timer of 2, and some of them are actually instant. They don't require any time to bake.
Okay.
So let's just say, Eric, you had 4 candies and 4 chocolate. And you had them here on your tray, and you turned them in and got this recipe. It has a timer of 2, so it would go in your oven here. And at the beginning of your next turn, it would slide down to the 1, and then at the beginning of your next turn, it would be complete, and you would score the card.
And while it is in the oven here, I cannot put anything in this slot.
That's absolutely right.
Okay.
Yeah, this would obviously refill, but you can't have multiple cards in the same section of the oven, right? So it's kind of limits what type of recipe you can make. I mean, if you have 1 and the 2, you obviously can't do one that's another timer 2 recipe.
Right.
So the fun part about the board here is it sets up randomly with these ingredient bowls. There's 6 types of ingredients. You have chocolate, cherry, candy, cream, crust, and Jell-O.
Okay.
Everybody loves Jell-O. So you set up randomly 4x4 grid, and then you fill each bowl with 2 of the ingredients of its type. And so on your turn, Eric, basically what you would do is you would choose one of these 4 pick actions. It's basically a variation of taking ingredients.
Okay.
And the fun thing about it is when you select one, it locks that one down until all 4 are used. So you have to use all 4 before you can wipe it and start over.
Okay.
So the basic pick action, which is this first one, just to show you how this works. Say you take these 2 Jell-O and you store them on this section of your pastry bench. By reaching into this bowl, you have now caused a mess, right? Which comes the name Sweet Mess.
Right.
We don't have these set up, but what would happen is whatever bowl type that you took it from, it's going to spread that ingredient. So you made a mess, and now every adjacent bowl is going to get a Jell-O.
Holy cow.
So you spread it out this way, and then this bowl is going to flip to reveal a new bowl type.
Okay.
And
Which
then
gets filled as well.
It doesn't get filled actually.
Okay.
But it will eventually. Like say on my turn. Say on my turn I take these. And I put them in my tray. Now chocolate is going to spread to all adjacent bowls.
We are real maniacs here in the kitchen.
Yeah. So it's a baking competition, so we're trying to do things quickly.
Okay.
Right? Anyway, so the board is constantly changing and evolving, and just things are spreading, and it's just fun how you grab things and flip things.
Okay. Other ways to grab?
They are, yeah. So you have a basic pick action, which is what I've shown just now, and then this one is a crafty pick. So you can choose 1 ingredient from 2 adjacent bowls.
Okay.
This way. This one is a prudent pick. So you will actually cause a mess from any bowl, and then take a pick action. So you'll make a mess and then choose from any bowl.
All right.
What? It's messy, man.
Right. I'm just imagining you picking.
We're bumping into one another and things. Anyway.
All right.
This last one is what's it called? I don't know. But you can swap 2 ingredients. So say I want 3 chocolates. I can trade this Jell-O for this 3rd chocolate and then take all these 3.
And then splash the chocolate out.
And then every time you take out of a bowl, it's gonna spread.
And this where you take out of 2 adjacent bowls. That's also doing both.
Yeah, good point. Actually, that one will not. So when you take 1 and 1, it won't cause a mess from those.
Okay. All right.
But the others will. And so a fun thing with there's like an engine building thing going on. if you create multiple recipes that have that use like ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, let's see what we got out here. Like this one uses candy and this one uses candy, and they're prominent enough to where one of the two icons on the bottom of the card is candy.
Okay.
So we have chocolate and candy, and then over here we have candy and cherry on these cards. So if you were to score these two cards, because you have a match of candy and candy, you see here that you need two candies, a pair of candies, to activate this candy. Basically, now it's an ingredient mastery. So you're mastering these ingredients.
Okay.
So you're going to have a candy reduction for the rest of the game. So you pay one less candy for everything that requires candy. And it's
Okay.
also worth a victory point. So every mastery that you get is a victory point, and you also pay less of that ingredient.
Okay.
So it's kind of fun. There are tools that you can use by...
That's not how recipes work. You know.
What?
I'm just
What are you talking
saying.
about?
Just saying.
It's just to show...
Okay.
It's
All
just to
right.
show that you are more efficient using that ingredient.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That
You-
does
you
not
would
actually
say.
produce more butter. That's right.
It's not to portray using
Anyway.
more of something.
Anyway.
It's a time thing.
Okay.
You
All right.
require
I
less
see.
time to make this
I
dessert
see.
by using these.
Okay.
These
Oh, this
BGG
is
people.
Physical
No, I
elements
know.
here. You need 4 candy and 4 chocolate. You're not producing candy out of your butt here. You gotta actually have the candy. Anyway, we'll carry on.
Killing me.
Ignore
Killing
me. Yes.
It works,
My
it
strict
makes
adherence
sense.
to theme does not really
I need
matter
coffee,
here.
so it's not explained, I'm sure, to the best that it can be explained. Anyway,
Or I'm going too far.
it's
in
both.
ribbing you.
It's both.
Yes. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
So we got extra elements here.
Yep, so it's kitchen tools. So to basically mitigate and enhance your actions, you can use kitchen tools. You have some that are associated with each section of your pastry bench, which is
Okay.
kind of fun. So the resources themselves are like workers as far as worker placement goes, if you think of it that way.
Right.
So if you choose the ingredients that you pick and you place them in this section, you now have, these are going to be flipped over to their non-active side, which is black and white art. Same
Okay.
to this is black and white art.
Right.
And then you flip it in this color art and it shows you the new icons. So the black and white tools, and it has an X on the tray showing you that you can't place a marker there.
Okay.
And so you set these tools here, you now have this mixer activated, and on your next turn you can use the mixer.
Okay.
And let's just say that you had these two sections filled up, so you have access to these two tools, kitchen cart and a mixer. You can actually choose one to use on your turn. And if you do choose to the kitchen cart, now you can actually store ingredients in this extra tray, or this extra section, which is your cart, your little table, and it's an extra storage space.
Okay.
And this is kind of this is actually it's kind of deep game. The theme fools you and the art fools you, but it's quite deep and strategical. So there are baking bonuses that you can accomplish or achieve, which will give you baking bonus points that you can then turn to spend to use kitchen tools.
Okay.
They're also worth victory points. So like three baking bonus points is worth 1 point at the end of the game. But you can spend 1 coin to use a tool for the first time,
Right.
and you can spend 2 to use it the second time, and that's all you'll have is two of each tool.
Okay.
And they'll do a fun thing like the tongs is you can take any one ingredient. The prepping bowls allows you to reserve a card. You're prepping that recipe right. So that, and the baking bonuses, there are 3 that will give you those points. Creative, you add 2 ingredients to any dessert, and you get a point. Increase the time of any dessert by 2. So if it was a timer 2 recipe, you'll actually slide it to the 4 slot. It's taking
Okay.
more time to cook, but you're going to get 2 points for doing it.
All right.
And then this last one, if you clear your bench completely when you make a recipe, you're going to get more baking bonus points.
Okay.
So this kind of comes. It's kind of fun here because if I cleared my bench, if I made a recipe that used all these, my bench is clean. I still have stuff on my card, but that isn't associated with my pastry bench, so I can still achieve tidy, and I get 2 points for doing that. 2
Right.
things. So it's just some fun things like that going on. The game ends when the recipe deck runs out. It's based on the player count, the number of cards out there.
Okay.
A fun little end game thing happens. On the last card, it'll tell you to populate every bowl with 1 ingredient of its type. And then these timer tokens go out on the last 4 cards. And then the first 2 recipes that have a timer token on it, when those are baked, then the game ends immediately,
Okay.
regardless of whose turn it is. So just a fun time, fun choices to make on your turn as you pick these ingredients and use the tools, etc. And ingredient masteries that pull the ingredients out of your butt to use less cherries.
That's right. All your fellow cooks will love that. I can't wait to see your sweet mess
Sweet Mess is going to launch on Kickstarter March 27th. Check it out. We're going to have some fun goodies and surprises and things like that happening. And you can obviously see more of the nice game trays that the game trays designed for us and everything. So see you there.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Eric.